Okay, more on our speed seers here. So the Bravado that we call it is something that one of my coaches went through in college, and we would always do it as a warm up, and it's kind of all inclusive. So it's one that we'll do sometimes as a warm up. Sometimes we'll do it more as your agility work. Sometimes it's your quickness work. And it's very, very condensed and it's to the point. So I'm going to go through it right now. So here's what we have. We have your high knee. Everybody knows what a high knee is, so I'm just going to go through it really quickly. These I would ordinarily do either going forward, going sideways. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to assume, let me try to set this up a little bit better. I'm going to assume that in the description I'm going to give you for that particular day that I'll either say linear, and then I'll say either forward linear or backward linear or both, or lateral to the left or to the right or both. So with that being said, a high knee, I'm just going to show you in place. A high knee is literally just going to be bringing that knee up at least to the midline, like basically at least to that hip line. And I usually try to get to an increased angle, and it looks like that, right? So that is a high knee. Now we're going to go with a butt kick, right? A butt kick is usually what's going to come next. And on our butt kick, our knee, a lot of people say this, they're like, hey, knee facing the ground, but the knee's not staying facing the ground for most people. I want my shoulder, my hip, and my knee to be in alignment, so my butt kick comes up like that, right? My heel comes towards my butt, but notice my knee stays facing down, okay? Facing down. That's really important. Now the next one is going to be our wall slide. Our wall slide is like a high knee and a butt kick at the same time. So the knee comes up, but notice my ankle comes up too. So my knee's coming up in the front, but I'm also kicking my butt. Now a lot of people, when they do high knees, they're actually doing wall slides because they're allowing their knee to come up in front. So that's a wall slide. The next one is going to be a high step. High step is just our legs straight out in front of us, up that level, almost like a high knee, but our legs locked out. That's your high step. The next one is going to be what some people will call a pull through. Other people will call a majorette. But basically, it's a butt kick, a high knee, and a high step. So you kick your butt, you pull that knee through here, and then extend. So I'm going to have to do this one kind of going forward so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so that's, some people call that a majorette. The next one that we're going to fit in there is called drum major, and literally, I'm going to face you so you can see it. It's in, your hip is going to rotate out, and that heel comes up, and then the other heel comes up, and we tap the inside of the heel, and we're looking for really good rotation. Then the opposite one of that, it's called African dance, and you want to try to keep your knee down, and you're going to tap on the outside, right? So it's an external rotation of that hip, and then you're tapping right here. Now, those are the key ones for the Bravado drill, and then the other ones that we do in there also is going to be a side kick. So after we've done all those, we're going to go, it's a step to the side, and then once your other leg gets there, you kick in and kick up, right? So it's just an easy light stretch on our adductors. Usually going to go both ways linearly. Then the other thing is going to be our karaoke and your tapioca. Tapioca is just going to be a little bit quicker. So there's karaoke in there and tapioca. Then the next one is going to be a skipping for height, and that's all that is just skipping up like this. You're driving that knee up, and then you're going to skip for distance, and it's just literally you're just going to skip out. So that's not anything probably terribly new for somebody. Those are going to be the main components of your Bravado, and you want to make sure that you're doing all of them. Usually it's going to be for about 10 to 15 yards. It just completely depends on what your coach is looking for, but for most of us it's going to be more like 10 yards. And we'll usually have them in there as a warm-up, which means start off easy and then progress through the repetitions to get to the point where it's a little bit more intense, more hard. That's speed one.